food when the economy is already in the gut on all. Hey guys, we got another major story developing. November 1st, they're going to cut off SNAP benefits. This is going to have major effect on all of us, guys, not just the people who are losing their benefits. Because you need to think, all these people who are losing the ability to buy food when the economy is already in the gutter and things are already at just ridiculous pricing. How do you think that they're going to survive? What's next? Theft? They're going to have to start stealing food, which means prices are going to raise, which means they will lock things up, which means we might be in martial law a lot sooner than we thought. Because when they have to start controlling the food centers, the Walmarts, martial law, that's when bread lines and everything will start. Okay. When the food centers are no longer secure, that's when your lockdowns will really begin. And when you take the SNAP benefits away from all these people who already have nowhere else to turn, what do you think is going to be the result of this? These people are going to get into survival mode here soon. Whether they come to the stores and start rioting and ransacking the shelves in the stores, or they start coming to your cupboards, they're going to come looking for food here soon, because that's survival.
Don't do a TikTok in a grocery store, but it's after church, everybody's shopping. So I said, well, I'll make some, ground beef pasta later today. Do you see that? $27.76 for 3 pounds of ground beef. Oh my God. Looks like we're going to have to start eating a lot more carbs. Or maybe going vegan. I mean, thank God it's just me and my husband. But, wow. These are like $30 a pack. Unbelievable. I'm about to get a literal grip right now. I'm at Food Lion. These prices are fucking insane. Boneless beef chuck steak, $82.99, $0.83, and $99.99 a pound. Look at this. Look at this. This is crazy. That's fucking insane.
Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash, Yahweh being your name, Heavenly Father, Yahushai being named for his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, a great millstone, that taught us truth and move well, and salutations to you, hopeful elections in truth and honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yahweh, come at you now, lesson to the spirit power of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, and this lesson is going to be in response to a video that the elder uploaded, did a quick clip of these people complaining, a couple people complaining about the prices, and also the breaking news that the rumor has it, or what's going around, is that if they don't reopen the government, that there will be no food stamps issued out November 1st, which is in a couple weeks. This is huge, man. This is huge, man. So this lesson is basically going into a stern warning that, hey, you're going to have to be real wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove in the times of move, but be prepared to defend yourself and be cautious in your surroundings. All right, this could very well easily usher in martial law. The chaos behind this alone, you got over 40 million people on this program, over 40 million, and without the program, they simply just won't be able to eat, period. They won't be able to eat at all, okay? And not only this, but this is going to make a huge impact on the economy for those that produce all the food in these stores, because you're going to have a massive amount of spoilage. of food that's just gonna go bad. Because, you know, I went to the store yesterday and was trying to get some food for my seeds, man. I went to go buy some smoked turkey, and usually like the package of smoked turkey I get is usually around like $3 or $4 a package for the pre-made like smoked turkey, man. And I think it's like turkey tails is what it was. You know, I use it to render it down. I cook it a whole lot for a specific Puerto Rican rice recipe that I use. But man, that shit was $8 a package, man. Literally double the price from what I'm accustomed to buying it for. And I remember buying it for like around $2. Okay, so hey, inflation is already out the roof, to where people that are on food stamps are already having to, you know, pick and choose and budget what they buy so they can make sure they actually feed everybody. Like, I'm noticing a lot of that shit that Keisha, you know, the end up be buying, like them hot chips and shit like that. A lot of that should be plenty in stock, because nobody can really afford it no more. They're having to buy the off-brand stuff. Even the junk food, they starting to realize they gotta buy actual meat. Oh shit, they gotta actually come up with look up something on how to cook. You know? And I'm also seeing like an influx of spices, and a lot of spices that are all of a sudden being empty or sold out, because a lot of people now are just cooking their own food because they just can't afford to go out and eat, because the prices are already extremely high. Now, you take away the stamps altogether, completely, man. Oh, you're about to see people begging on the streets. You're gonna have to watch your back if you go to the grocery store and you do have any money to buy something. You're gonna have to try to make it quick and get in there and get out, because people will literally be robbing you for your food, or trying to get your money from you to go in there and buy themselves some food. When people get hungry, man, they get very desperate. Okay, and this thing is trickling down to affect everybody, because like I said, it's gonna fuck up the prices on everything, because now you got too much damn food, you know. So they might actually make like a little sale to try to get rid of some of that stuff, but a lot of these companies is about to take a major hit behind this shit. Let this shit last an additional 30 days. That's 30 days of 40 million people not spending any money to buy food. So 40 million people, and do the math on how much they probably spend a week on food, man. Let's say you got a household of 3 to 4. Easily that grocery bill can rack up to over $700 a month. And that's for one family. And let's say 25 million of those are in that type of situation and have those numbers. Can you imagine the huge hit on the pockets that these major supermarkets and grocery stores are about to take? It's going to affect everything, man. And they're going to have to make a decision. Lower the price of the food, which they still have to buy the shit. The price that they have to buy it for isn't going to change. If anything, it's probably going to go up, because they have to try to make some type of profit for all the losses of people that won't be buying it. You know, so they're going to want to try to make some of their money back, so they might raise the price of the food even more to try to compensate for the losses of the amount of people that aren't buying it or can't afford it. You know, fuel's still going to be going up and be expensive. And so they can't, the people that have to pay for it to ship all their shit to these stores, they still need to get their money too, and then they cost them to operate their businesses to get the food to these stores for you people. So this could cause a huge chain reaction, man. You can see major riots. Most supermarkets and side stores, you're going to just see people robbing this shit. Like, I just seen it probably a week ago. I was at a Dollar General picking up a bag of dog food. I'm in there grabbing a bag of dog food, thinking I'm about to be in and out. Now it's taking forever because some nigga woman went in there and loaded her cart up full of shit and ran out the store with it, threw it in the trunk, and took off. So there was only one worker working the whole fucking store. Why? Because times are so hard. They can't afford to hire nobody, man. You know, they can't afford to keep up employees. So you got one worker that's having to deal with all this shit, and she little as hell, some little white girl all by her damn self, man. Now she got to call the police, and she got to talk to the police. You got customers in there trying to actually do the right thing and pay for it, and you can't even serve them, so they just start leaving their shit and walking out. That's about to be in every fucking store real soon, like on a mass scale. If this shit sticks and this shutdown stays, man, it's about to be really, really bad out here in like a week and a half, man. The November 1st is right around the corner. It's already close to what? It's like October. It's October 20th, man. It's October 20th right now. So you got 12 days. In 12 days, chaos. These people ain't got no money to go to buy this. Because you got some of these people on food stamps that aren't working. So their money to buy food isn't really there, man. They may have a disability check coming in. Is that enough to sustain to buy them $600? Their disability check most of the time is less than $1,000. And it costs you that much to feed your fucking, if you got a family, to feed your family with how expensive the groceries already are. It's going to be really bad, man. And they say, oh, well, people can go work. Yeah, you can go work. There's places to work, but a lot of people are not qualified for every single job that's available out there. You know? And a lot of them, especially people that's on Section 8, a lot of minority people, just the way it is, man. A lot of them is 2/3 niggas that got records and shit. So they can't, you know, they can't pass the test to get hired. Nobody wants to pick them up. Because these employers got to take a risk hiring these motherfuckers. And people are going to be on food stamp, a lot of them, not all of them. Some of them, like, you know, I got some family members that, you know, are completely disabled and has surgery and major medical issues going on. You know, so they can't work. They physically can't. And Esau is so wicked, and these employers are so wicked, they got shit set up to where instead of just retiring them and just saying, hey, you worked for us all these years, let me go ahead and just, you know, you got hurt on the job, let me go ahead and take care of you and you'll be good. No, you think they doing that? Hell no. So they got no other option. How else they supposed to eat unless they got some type of assistance? You know, not every job gives a retirement, and not everybody qualified for a certain job that come with benefits like that. And some of the people are already retired, you know, and they're elderly people, and they only get so much on that check. It ain't enough to cover everything. So they were getting a little bit of government assistance to help them. But see, this is what happens when you trust in the shadow of Egypt, man. And then you put trust and say that, oh, my government's always going to last. You know, they're going to provide for me and take care of me and all this shit. And then what ends up happening, man? Now you got a lot of people in shock. Completely got screwed over, man. That's the reality of the world we live in, man. You know, so a lot of these people are going to be mass protesting and think that protesting going to do something. They're going to start rioting. And to control these people, they're going to have to execute martial law, because hunger is a different type of motivation. A lot of these people have been protesting and it's been peaceful. We ain't seen no violent, quote-unquote, violent protests for real until, you know, the George Floyd incident that happened. You know, hands up, don't shoot, all that stuff. That's when you had some niggas tearing up parts of the city and police cars and stuff and vandalizing stuff. But their bellies were full. They were just fueled off of emotion. And a lot of those were paid actors to do a lot of shit and to turn them protests violent the way they went. But now, these people's motivation is their belly buttons hitting their fucking spine. None of these people out here that on these programs and stuff like that are trained and accustomed to fasting and can mentally deal with not eating for 2, 3, 4 days. Most people, they can't go, you take away 8 hours, man, they can't even do an intermittent fast without getting overly hangry and doing some bullshit or panicking. Take away their food for like a month. Oh boy, man. You're going to have a lot of women that are going to begin to turn to prostitution. A lot of these baby mamas are going to be upping their game to try to get men to date them with all their kids. And they're going to be straight up offering sex for a change for food, man. You know? And all that proud, I don't need a man, I'm independent shit, about to go out the window, because it's step by step that's about to affect Keisha pretty bad, man. First it's going to be the food stamps. The well was run dry with that. The government still shut down. When the government shut down, there's certain things that still need to be funded. So they start pulling from certain reserves from different programs. So one of those programs that's going to start getting pulled from is Section 8. They're supposed to have enough reserves to last a couple months to pay out for people on Section 8. But the reserve is going to be quickly depleted the longer this shit stays shut down, because what's going on right now is a big time war. And that money is never going to end there. They're not going to end the paper trail on that. So a lot of money is being funneled in to help Israel, to help Ukraine. They still need to fund those things, man. Police officers and stuff like that is going to demand to get paid, because anybody that's employed by the federal government, which includes military, they also are not getting a check. The military don't get no food stamps, man. People in the military don't qualify for that. You got to be basically below poverty level to qualify to get them shits. Meaning, here in Missouri, I believe that you got to make under like $1,400 monthly to get some type of food stamps. So people in the military, their base pay is over $2,000 starting, so they don't automatically they don't qualify for those programs. But yet the government shuts down, they don't get that $2,000 check. They're supposed to receive housing allowance. Some of the people in the military that's living off base, hey, how the fuck they gonna pay their rent? The landlord's not gonna just put up with a couple 1 or 2 months of not getting paid. I know when I used to be stationed out in DC area in Maryland, hey, that shit was expensive as fuck to live out there, man. It's expensive on like the northern East Coast. I remember like my rent was well over like $2,000 a month for a 3-bedroom house, and that was probably back in like 2016, 2015. Now I imagine that shit damn near like $3,000 a month for some of them places. So if they paycheck stop, it's going to be a problem. So they're going to have to make a decision. They're going to have to start paying some of them federal workers, which is going to include people in the military, because you need your fucking military. So they're going to have to look into places where they can dig into some of these reserves to pay for them, to make sure they get paid. So some of them places that reserves is places like Section 8. So come on, man. That's next. And I pray, keep this motherfucker shut down, man. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, but this place needs to be judged. Especially these wicked women, man, that have abandoned their families, wrecked their homes for benefits from the system like that. There are women that straight up destroy their family, become disrespectful, go on the streets and try to date other men. Why? Because they always have a fallback backup plan of going to get some Section 8 to help them with a place to stay and shit like that, man. It's been a number one catalyst of, I don't need a nigga, is this government assistance. You know, because you got some women that got decent jobs that, you know, make it on their own, and they don't depend on that. But it's still part of this shit is giving women the liberty to pick and choose to not have a husband, man. The scriptures say that desire is supposed to be to thy husband. So your desire has been to Section 8 and the food stamps and having a quote-unquote career in this place. So you negate your creation, your purpose, which is to be a mother, to be a wife, to help build up a household, and help mother the future generations to come. Because these women are not raising these kids. You know who's raising these kids? Fucking daycare and public school. Which is why you have such badass, terrible kids today in this generation. Because my generation coming up is when the shit began. When we were kids, that's when you're seeing the first influx, huge influx of single mamas shit started, man. All the single ladies and to the left, all that fucking demonic energy was pushed on my parents. So you have the women of my generation that, you know, are basically doing even worse because they're parents. They grew up or entered to adulthood with looking into a broken household and seeing, you know, a type of come up what they can get, some type of benefits off the system, man. And that's to get their man on child support, go have a career, not take any type of training, home training, but aspects to a family at all. What's been put on a pedestal is what degree you can get, what job you can get. What kind of assistance can you get to achieve those things? And the assistance is child support, food stamps, Section 8, available to any woman that gets pregnant. Men don't get those benefits out here, man. It's hard as fuck for a man to apply for that shit. Because most of the time, the women is favored to get custody of kids, so they automatically get the shit. You know? So you got these landlords that are feeding into it because they see, hey, look, this is an opportunity to get some guaranteed money. Once they get on this program, I'm going to get this money every single month. So you got people fueling that type of behavior and that energy by providing the opportunity to get housing in a nicer quote-unquote white area. So a woman will see that and say, oh, well, you know what? Either I can stay with this man and have under rules, guidelines, and regulations, be required to respect, be required to be a woman, cook, clean, be a mom, stay-at-home mom, tend to the household, support my man. I can do that, or I can go look at the enticing freedom of what I see on TV. You got all these female celebrities that's divorcing their $1 million husbands, and then they're having 10, 20, 30 men to constantly pick and rotate and choose from. So they can have as much sex as they want at the click of a finger instantly. It's easy for a woman to get something, man. An average woman, let her have some type of cute look, she's getting a plethora of dick pics in her inbox. So men don't get that type of accessibility to everything. So that becomes an extremely demonic, enticing, it's a straight demon. It's literally Satan baiting all these women with these government systems, man. They have the freedom to have as many husbands as they want at the same time, rotating from different men, and get paid for kids that they have with child support, and get free food from the system under food stamps, and get a free place to stay, man. Or maybe they're getting assistance. They're paying for some of it. It's still they're getting help. You know? For the same thing that men are doing, which is just having a job and working. But there's no assistance for that, man. Why? Because it's a satanic push to destroy the Israelite household, to make sure the mother and the father are not together. And that brings forth a generation of degenerates and monsters. So now you have today, what you got kids walking around here, we call them YNs, young niggas. Wearing poo shiesties, tearing shit up, stealing. You know, can barely even fucking read, graduating. You know, you got kids that's becoming momos. In my son's elementary school, there's little boys in that school walking around with their fingernails painted. Talking about I identify as a girl. In elementary, man. That's the product of when you tear apart the household, man. And you take the parent away and you brainwash one, which is going to be the mother. What's happening with that? Who's raising them? The mom says she's claiming she's raising them. She may talk to them when they get home from school, but where's most of her time spent during the day? Is working for a white man on somebody's job. And having a work husband, fucking on the job, you know, picking and choosing, fucking her way up to the top to get promoted. And what happens with the children? They're left to be raised by a daycare lady. They don't give a shit about that. They don't give a shit about these kids, man. You see these kids different rotating like clockwork. And it's their job to get attached to them and to be a mother to them. There's no nurturing there. It's just a straight what's required on black and white and paper. Give them some damn snack and lunch. Read some books. And play with some blocks with them. Every once in a while, teach them a little bit. There's no raising, though. There's no discipline being instilled. So these kids are being raised by daycare, man. Then they get raised from daycare, and guess what? The mom is still spending more than half of her day at a job instead of home with those children. These children are accustomed to not seeing a parent and not learning respect and not learning what a family looks like as far as proper structure of a mother being in the house. All this shit is about to come to an end. The Lord's about to punish y'all for accepting this shit. It's not right. It's not following according to the scriptures the way the Lord ordained shit, man. Then these kids go in school and they get raised by the school and the high school or a sports team. And you wonder why somebody gets strung out on drugs or end up in jail. Or the kid turned out to be GAY. Because this is what they're teaching the kids in school to be. You know, so you got moms now, man, they can't even, they're so goddamn proud and it's so fucked up out here. Some of them can't even afford the fucking daycare shit. And they take a risk and will risk leaving the children at home by themselves, abandoning the kids, for any stranger to come in there and kick in the fucking door and have their way with your children. You got women doing this shit, man. Kids getting out of the house, figuring out how to open up the door, little bitty babies walking in the damn street. Why? Because their pride was been more important than their child's life is their fucking job and being independent instead of being a goddamn wife and a mom at home, man. So now the Lord is starting to take away shit and it's putting a squeeze. So November 1st come, if them stamps don't hit, I'm not about to feel sorry for none of you bitches, man. Don't come to me asking me for some money to help pay for some fucking groceries in the store panhandling. I'm going to turn it down, man. Because you trusting in that. That's who you accepted as your husband. So if they divorce you, hey, that's it. That's even in the law of scriptures, man. If you got to put your woman away and she go be for another man, the scripture labels her being defiled. So she can't come back to you after she's fucked somebody else. Once she's tasted that poisonous water, she dipped her foot in the water, that's it, man. She's tainted. Her spirit is always going to be attached now to another new spirit from another man. You already got to deal with other spirits from other previous men she had before you met her. And now you got an additional spirit on top of that that's going to always conflict with yours. So you're not going to get along with that woman. Her spirit has been torn apart too much, and she already sees what it's like to have somebody else after you, and she's accepted that feeling, and it's okay to sleep around with other men while she's with you. So don't ever fucking take a woman back that's been with another dude, man. That's it. You know, so a lot of y'all women, you asked for it. We're not about to feel sorry for you in this times to come. You're going to have a lot of women out here panhandling. You're going to see a lot of these escort websites start exploding. They're going to start resorting to offering sex for benefits. That's what they've been doing anyway. You know? That's what they've been doing any fucking way, man. Because what happens when you ask her out on a date? She requires you to spend some type of money on her in exchange for her time, her energy, and eventually to lay down with her. It's just a matter of her judging how much of that she can get out of you, and how much she's feeling you, and how much vibes you're giving her, or whatever it is, man. And then it's never enough. They get bored. They get one thing and they want another. Like I said, they got too many different options. So the well's beginning to run dry, man. The well's beginning to run dry, and a lot of y'all have a huge judgment coming. This is going to be a chain reaction. First, it's going to be the food stamps, and watch it trickle down to other things. If this ushers in martial law and this becomes chaotic, it's all downhill from there. Because the next thing to fall is Section 8. And these people start getting violent over food and start vandalizing Walmarts and kicking in windows and stores and ramming cars in the stores and shit to steal food. They're going to have to up the security in this place. So you're going to see a heightened military presence, already more than what it already is. It's going to be bad. And the next thing you know, they're going to say, hey, look, if you want these benefits, you have to go get your digital ID. Watch how that shit can play out, man. Lord's will, this shit continues, because these damn devils, how they like to play. They like to do test runs and stuff before they actually do it. We're going to see. They had a test run from the last shutdown, the last time Trump was in office. And the shit was shut down about 30 days. So we're approaching that mark. At the end of October, it'll be another 30-day shutdown. Okay? And if it lasts all the way through November, that's 60 days. We ain't been shut down that long. But the last shutdown, there was no threats of them stopping food stamps. So this is a new thing, man. So they may want to see how it is for a while, see how these people react, and then turn the shit back on. Just to see how people react and how they can gauge and deal with people. So that's a real possibility. They can shut it down for a while. People don't get their stamps, and they start studying the behavior. They write it down. Because they want to try to control the chaos when they collapse this dollar. So when they collapse this dollar and they roll in this digital ID and make it mandatory and say, hey, look, you need, in order to get money, you have to have this device in your hand and your head. Then they're kind of writing down and gauging on how the people react, so they can try to calculate how many military soldiers they're going to need to respond in this city to try to keep these people under control. And if you offer them a little bit of something in this way, will they bite on it? So we don't know how this devil's got it played out or planned out, man, but we just know that it's overall, it's not good for you people. It's not good, but it's good for the prophets because we told you so. We told you that this was coming. The Lord says the prophets are going to be okay in these times, so we're not worried about it. It's you wicked people, you 2/3, man, that accepted the world, that sold your souls, you sellouts. And you people that left the truth of being an Israelite to go follow this system. So it's good that we get to see your judgment. So we're looking forward to it, and it also means we're one step closer to getting delivered up out of here. We're a big step closer to that MOTB being made mandatory. That MOTB has to be made mandatory for this war to fully kick off. So there's things that they can use to justify for that, and that's another pandemic, and that's also to control chaos and violence because there's a lack of food. So to maintain chaos, okay, they will justify having that CHIP, that MOTB, for security purposes, okay, and also for medical reasons. They need to have it to identify those that have took the Maxine waters or not. The people that took the stuff, and you know what? They need to track that too. So that device covers all that, and then it also covers the money aspect as far as being a new form of currency. Everything wants to be to a digital currency. And they also need to control who's coming in and out of the nation. They want to know everything specific. So that device is perfect for it all. So it's so close. It's right here, man. We're so close. Once that prophecy has been filled, Revelation 13 and 16, where they begin to when they begin to cause all to get it, to try to get all to go get it, that's when we know that martial law and World War III is going to be at its fullest. And once that Third World War kicks, it's the prophecy of the lake of fire mixed with deliverance. We're getting out of here. Once World War III has fully been called, they got the MOTB out. They're telling everybody that they have to go get that device in their hand and their head. The Lord is going to be delivering us. We're going to actually see brothers doing miracles and getting delivered, man. So we look forward to it, because I'm tired of being in this wicked ass kingdom, man. I'm tired of this shit, man. All this shit is vanity. You know, there's things that we can get and we can enjoy, nice cars and stuff, and we're grateful for it. But it's all temporary. Nothing lasts forever here. And then we really don't own anything. Like, I got a home, but as long as I have to pay taxes on it, it's not my home. As Uncle said, they can come take it and they can skyrocket the taxes to where I can't afford it, and next thing you know, I'm foreclosed on. Same thing with vehicles, man. You got to pay to have them fixed. You got to pay interest on them, and they can raise the taxes anytime to where you can't afford the re-registration. Next thing you know, the bank is coming to repossess your shit, man. Or something go wrong with them, engines go down, and the economy's so shitty you can't afford to pay the mechanics to get the shit done. It's just too much fucking shit that's going on in this place, man. It's too much hell. This is not our rest. Even though we have good moments, this is not our rest, man. You're supposed to be seeking and wanting deliverance. So these times that's coming, man, hey, just be real wise. You know, watch your P's and Q's when you're going places once November 1st hit. Go to the store for what you need. Try to get a little bit here and there at a time now. Stock up on rice, beans, buy squash. Look up winter squash, okay? Buy squash like pumpkins, acorn squash, butternut squash. Those have a shelf life of like 2 to 3 months. So you can have some food over the winter if you stock up on squash, man. Stock up on rice, beans, squash. Not the perishable squash that can't sell on the counter. I'm talking like the hard shell squash, with that hard flesh that you got to really cut into. Spaghetti squash and stuff like that. You put it in a warm, dry place, dark area. It can last you like damn near 2-3 months, man. So that's the purpose the Lord gives us certain vegetables, to be able to last in times of winter. Be prepared in that way. If you get some firewood, try to get a hold of some firewood you can. If you got a garage, put it in there. If you don't got a garage, you know, hey, try your best to make sure there's no pests on it, termites, and get some tarp, wrap it up. So you got some type of wood in case you can burn fire in this winter. This scripture say, pray ye that your flight be not in the winter and not on the Sabbath day. Because it's about to be a harsh winter, man. And I pray they keep this shit shut down. Because may it destroy this Thanksgiving celebration coming up. Because that's a celebration of killing our people, man. This Thanksgiving Day celebration. These stamps is hit. How the fuck they gonna be able to afford all these damn turkeys and shit? Hey, the mirth is really about to cease this holiday season, man. And this is the perfect time then to keep shit shut down so they can roll in that C-hip. Say, hey, look, if you want the stamps, you can have the stamps, but you need to go get this device. Watch them roll out with some shit like that. It may not happen this go around, this November, but eventually it will come, and we're gonna see it in this lifetime. I'll be right to Zah, man. You know, so hey, the Lord's name is Yahweh, and his only begotten son's name is Yahweh Shai. Learn those two names, write them down, repeat them. Yahweh is for the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. His name is Yahweh Shai. You need to call upon those names, and you need to believe. If you're so-called black, Latino, Native American, okay, or you're another nationality I didn't mention, but you identify with the generational curses found in Deuteronomy and throughout the scriptures of what would happen to the Israelites, then you could be an Israelite too. Pray that you're a Hebrew Israelite, you know, so when you call upon those names and you truly believe, the Lord will answer and preserve you in the times to come, and make sure he makes a way out of no way to make sure you and your family, your household eats. Food's about to be scarce. Family's on the way, man. All right, so Lord's will, this lesson is edifying. We're going to go ahead and close out and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles, elders, great millstone, to us truth and will well, and citations to hopefully put in the truth and honest sincerity. Shalom.